Well, it is what it is. And it's not what it's not.
That's true.
These are just the facts, people. Thank you for listening and watching.
That just reminds me of The Office.
Christmas!
Wow! Wow!
Hey, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Bros, Brews, and the Basement podcast.
We're your hosts.
Yep, we sure are. As ridiculous as ever, I'm Corey.
I'm Dillon.
And we're here bringing you another episode. This is episode 13. Can you even believe
I'm glad you
it?
said that because I was going to say 12.
Yeah. I just saw it earlier. I was like, wait, how many episodes do we have? I was looking because this episode is our year in review.
Year in review.
And technically, we haven't been around for a full year yet.
So this will be our half year in review.
Yeah, but
as far as a podcast is
yeah,
concerned.
but because it's the end of 2023, it just felt appropriate to do kind of a look back on our years.
Yeah.
You know, and let you guys in on our lives.
And we're also going to have a beer in review.
That's right. As always, we'll have our beer of the week coming up very shortly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to take a look back on some of the highlights of our years individually and collectively on the podcast here. We'll, take a look back on some of our favorite beers, our favorite moments, and
yeah.
And
maybe our not so favorite beers.
Yes, UFO.
Because
looking at you.
Yeah.
Looking at you. Go back to outer space.
It was going to be
Get out.
UFO and Atomic Pumpkin. They were the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
all right. Good job. We looked at the worst, man. Write that off.
Oh, you write that off. Check. Yeah. And also, we went to the brewery like we always do. We've talked about it in previous episodes before we got here, and
Six Habas.
Six Habas. And I don't know why I'm from Boston. But
Habas.
Habas. And we were saying that we'll probably do maybe like Game of the Year and some other things. So basically just, all around talking about our favorite things about the year in general. So very excited to bring you guys that.
Let's get started.
But yeah, let's get started into our beer of the week.
All right, Bob. Sorry, but we do have to move you.
Yeah, he could be in the front. It's fine.
There you go. There
drop
he is.
some likes for Bob, guys. Come on. Bob's the shiz knight.
Come on, rock. There he is. He's rocking.
He's leaning with it. He's rocking with it. And one might say he's bobbing with it.
Oh, God.
All right. See you later, guys.
Oh, boy. That was not in pre-production.
Nope. Sure wasn't. But yeah, we
All right.
have the
We have the Dank 7.
The Dank 7. Yeah.
That's what we're calling it because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Dank 7 from Boulevard Brewing Company from Kansas City, Missouri. I believe when I was in the brewery, I saw another beer that had like Dank or something like that. It was a local one to us. But we've done
a lot of
local
locals
and
so.
New York-based beers, so I wanted to do a beer outside of the area, Kansas City, Missouri. Definitely far outside of our area, different part of the country for sure.
Yeah.
Founded in 1989, same year we were both founded, which is cool.
That is cool.
So we're the same age as this brewing company, and I believe, let's see,
That's pretty dope.
Do they have any stats on Dank other than it being 7%?
It's a lot of sevens, right? 7%.
Yeah, right.
7 different hops, or so we think, right?
That's what it says. 7 hops on it.
Okay.
So I imagine it's a Belgian style IPA.
Ooh.
We should probably learn what that means.
Yeah, I do like Belgian beers, so I'm hoping this one's gonna be,
Yeah, and what's crazy is I always say, we're not going to always do IPAs, and then we always
it's an IPA.
come with an IPA, which is crazy because I had an ale and a winter lager at the brewery today.
Hey, man, it is what it is, right?
Belgian-style pale ale is gold to copper in color and can have caramel or toasted malt flavor.
Ooh, interesting. I feel like
And they're inspired by British pale ales, and they're very sessionable.
I don't know, just like hearing caramel and beer together, like how that doesn't.
Hold on. Quick question. Caramel or caramel? What do you say?
Ooh. I mean,
Are you a caramel or a caramel?
So I say caramel.
I say caramel.
But I think if you read the word, it makes more sense saying it the other way.
Caramel?
Yeah. Because isn't that how it's spelled? There's no like E or A after it, right?
It's Caramel. Caramel.
Oh, so maybe.
Because I'll be honest, when I hear people say caramel,
that's one of those things.
In my head, I'm like, you're saying it wrong.
Which side of the fence are you on? Let us know in that comment section. Caramel or caramel?
It's caramel. I'm sure there's a way that it's caramel and I'm wrong, but in my head, it's caramel. Either way.
Let's dive right into this
Dank
beer.
Number 7. When I sent this to Corey, he said, it looks like we hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
And I said to you, hopefully it helps one of us hit Powerball or Mega Millions, whichever one was $600 million.
Yeah, nobody won yet, right? So,
yeah, we all struck out.
Yeah.
Maybe because I didn't buy a ticket, but who knows?
7's going to be one of the numbers.
We should probably tilt this over.
Can move this over now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Takes you far out.
Yeah.
Limited release.
Why hops always look like pot leaves to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. But I saw it and I was like, man, what's with the pot? And then I was like, wait, that's hops.
Got you this time, bitch.
Probably.
I learned.
Probably from the car ride.
I didn't even open it fully. Did you open yours like the whole way?
Yeah, I wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah, see, as soon as I pull it back, it starts fizzing. I mean, I probably should just rip the Band-Aid off, huh? Oh, yeah. We've learned nothing.
I imagine from the car ride? I don't know.
Yeah, like I can't imagine why this is a constant.
But the car ride was literally 2 minutes.
And I mean, you literally drove with me. I'm not driving like a fucking maniac.
Not today, at least.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, I don't understand. Well, you're in review. Apparently, with the beer, we learned nothing. Learned nothing in transport. That's all right, though.
But the crazy thing is,
it happens.
That's
life, guys.
There's plenty
and
of
gals
beers. There's
and everything
plenty
else.
of beers that I've taken from my house to your house over the years, whether it was my parents' house or the house I currently live in. The distance is fairly similar, and plenty of beers have taken many of rides and also plenty of walks. And
That's
this
true.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine it is.
We blame the distributor.
Sorry. I can't imagine.
He's not sorry.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. I just have like a tiny bit left, and I just don't want it to overflow. All right. Well, you're going to have to wait a while, but 'cause mine's 99% foamtastic.
Yeah.
Foamtastic. For those of you returning, welcome back. And for those of you new viewers who have clicked in, welcome, where we always invite you to taste the brew and join the crew. Hey. Damn, look at that. Oh, baby.
That's actually pretty good. The fact that I had, you know.
We're doing it live.
What's going on?
Live at the garden.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, I'm doing it live.
We're doing it live.
You can't make this stuff up, guys. Hey, look, it's better now.
Did we change color?
We did. We changed color again. It's all about that focus. I still don't understand the focusing thing, but
It's okay. We'll get there.
we'll get there eventually. And if we don't get there, we don't get there. Right, Pam?
We'll at least enjoy the ride.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to taste the beer out of the can then.
I'm kind of afraid to open mine.
You have nowhere to pour it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm going to wait.
It's fine.
Doesn't sound,
It's fine. It's not great.
it's fine. What do you, Robert California? I'm fine, bitch. I'm fine.
It's fine.
Fine dining.
That's how I mean.
So while we, obviously you've
it's not
tasted
like
it,
overly bitter,
yeah.
but it's also, it really doesn't.
7 hops, Dylan. Seven different
Severin?
hops. 7 different hops.
It just doesn't taste like anything to me.
So it just tastes like what, an
It just
IPA? or-
tastes like some slight bitterness.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I'm disappointed.
Oh no, disappointment.
I thought it was going to be better.
Disappointment is
I
like
should have lowered expectations the second the cans exploded, but
yeah. Disappointment is one of those words that nobody in our generation ever wants to hear, right?
no.
I feel like that's the more devastating.
I'm not mad.
and cuts
I'm
to the
just
bone.
disappointed.
Yeah, that cuts to the bone.
Yeah.
Worse than anything else.
That is like
There's nothing worse, I feel like, than disappointing
that is
somebody
like right. That was like
because they had better
phrase
Yeah.
of parents
I'm disappointed in you.
that had children of our age.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm
not mad at
disappointed.
all. I'm disappointed. I thought you were better than this.
Yeah, like they wanted you to be better than them.
Not bad, Corey. Let me know if you need. Okay. I feel like you should just.
Just gonna let it.
Yeah. I
Let
mean,
it-
that's going to be pretty flat, but it's okay.
Yep. Boop. Well, I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a lot of foam.
I could
It's on
tell.
my nose.
So, to me, I thought this was going to be
Woo.
better. So, you see what I mean? It's like there's really not a lot of taste there. It's just like a little bit of bitterness and then nothing.
It just, yeah. I mean, it definitely does taste hoppy.
But I don't even think it's like overly bitter, you know?
It's very mid. That's what the kids say nowadays, right?
Mid!
It's mid. It's very
Who are
mid.
you, MJF?
I am. Mid JF.
Here you go, Bob.
Bob needs some. Here you go. Take some.
All
beer,
right,
Bob.
I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Jeez.
Because here's my reasoning. We really sit on 7s and 6s a lot. Like that's like our general rating.
Consensus.
That's
of-
our general like lack of beer knowledge rating. You know, that's how I feel, and I feel like when a beer is not great, like to me, it's okay. I wouldn't buy this again. If I had choices at a party and this was one, I'm not picking this. If it's the last beer that's there and I really want a beer, I would drink it.
Yeah.
Right?
Desperation.
So
beer.
it's like a 5, a 5.5. It's It's better than UFO. And honestly, we gave UFOs like 4s. They probably should have been worse than that. Right? So to me, this is like a 5. Like your run-of-the-mill kind of beer. Not like awful, but nothing about it makes me think, man, I got to have that. It's good.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're
now I had like a real sip.
It's just like you get a little bit of hoppy bitterness and there's nothing else there. So that's why I'm saying 5. I'm going to go 5.
Yeah. I don't really like it. There's just no other way around it.
Listen, you're going to name your beer Dank or Piff.
Yeah.
Or Sour Diesel. I'm sure there's a beer somewhere named that.
Probably.
If you are going to have a play on name.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like this one either.
If you're going to have a play on the name, you gotta bring some substance. To me, this is a pretty empty beer. You know, a little bit of bitterness and that's it. So 5.
What did we rate the UFO? 4?
A lot of 4s. I don't remember. To me, this is better than the UFO, but not by much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, having the 2 sips that I've had already, I'm like, this is gonna be a struggle for me. I don't really like this one at all. So yeah, I'm gonna give this like a 4.5.
Okay.
Because
Oh, Corey, you're smart. There's 2 layers here.
Yep. Yep. You betcha. There's the pool cover, and then there's this one on top. So
this is just a regular tablecloth. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. I'll get that later.
Yeah, so there you have it. Beer of the week this week, not very good at all. Pretty bad.
So, thinking back on our beer in review.
Yeah, seems like the perfect segue.
I feel like the number 1 beer was the Voodoo Ranger Citrus.
Yep.
Right? That was the one that we both really loved. Kim came on and had the spot review for the Loyal Lemonade.
Yeah, Loyal Lemonade.
I call them Lyrical Lemonades.
Yeah, ever since you said that, I'm like, Lyrical Lemonade.
She came on and had the spot review of a 9 for the Lyrical Lemonades.
Yeah, our highest rating yet.
And
right, on the
and our lowest are the UFOs collectively with that variety pack, and Corey added this to the bunch.
Yeah. Just terrible. Just god awful.
We did a lot of Voodoo Ranger, and I know we had the Stones weren't that great.
Oh yeah, the Stones were not that good either. But I don't remember what we gave them, but it was not. Those were really bad too.
Yeah.
But they were definitely, I think, above the UFO.
No, the UFOs were definitely our worsts. And this is probably right above it, to be honest. So, looking back on your 2023, actually, before we do that, are you a New Year's resolution person?
I love New Year's Revolution. The
it's
WWE
a great pay-per-view.
that
Yeah,
used to be.
Are you a New Year's resolution person?
So I used to not be for many years, but the past 2 to 3 years, I make a lot of goals for myself. For the year. And whether I complete all of them or not, obviously that's,
right.
Whatever. But I try my best to hit as many as I can, because I feel like if you don't have anything to aim for, you're never going to do anything.
So is that what made you change?
Yeah.
So I, along with you, when I was younger, did not have resolutions. I was like, in my head, they were stupid.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought.
But I'm with you where it's like, I still feel, the people who make the New Year's resolutions like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym now. As a New Year's resolution, I don't like it because it's like you're only doing it because it's a new year based on like the theory of a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
But,
I have some of those.
But building goals for you, but it's different, right? Like I feel like you should, instead of being like, well, I'm now going to go to the gym, it should be my goal is to get in shape or lose X amount of pounds or
because I feel like
work
fitness
out
is hard.
X amount of times a week, right? Because
you
can work out without going to the gym.
Exactly.
So, because there are people who can't go to the gym because going to LA Fitness right here for $40 a month is a lot of money. And there are people who work and people who have children and people who do this. And it's like sometimes getting to the gym
is just hard.
It's not feasible.
Yeah.
But working out is different.
Yeah.
Right?
Go for a run, do something.
I'm with you. I like to set goals for myself. And I feel like now a lot of my goals are more long-term, like multiple year goals where it's like I can't, like realistically hitting said goal is not something I can do in a year, right? Because my focus, like I've said to you, I've said to a bunch of people, I have a 25-year plan. It sounds ridiculous, but I have a 25-year plan. And my 25-year plan involves paying off the house I currently own, buying a second location, and just setting me and my wife up for life, right? And that's very broad, but like that's my 25-year plan, and my goals that I set are based on heading in the direction of that plan.
Yeah. So
You
what
know
about
what I mean?
What about like any small time like yearly goals?
Yes. And I made this goal today. I want to replace the wood-burning stove in my basement.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that I can use it.
You've definitely talked about that a lot.
Yeah. The one I have there is old. A lot of holes in it. Smoke gets out. Gets the house smoky. It's not a good setup. That's one thing. And, it's so easy to just go somewhere and be like, hey, I want to pay and get it done. But just the idea of going somewhere and talking to somebody, like I'd so much rather do it myself. But Kim doesn't want me doing it. She was like, there's fire involved. Just have someone
just
do
have
it
somebody do it.
professionally. Yeah, so honestly, like that's not even a New Year's goal to get done in the year. I want that done within the first quarter. Within 3 months, I want it done.
So you're trying to just bang that out. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have. I set like a bunch of random ones. You know what I mean? Like ones that are kind of more like. I think like this past year I had like work out 2 times a week at least, or like stuff like that, where it's kind of like recurring, just like things that you have to practice like every day or weekly, or like don't drink as much, like don't drink every day, like don't smoke like at all, stuff like that, where I was just like I've been doing the right thing, and it's just like I want to continue doing like the right thing that I think for me at least, and then there's other ones where it's like get a tattoo, go on vacation, like take a vacation. A lot of them were for the channel here, like make a video where you get over 100K. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, didn't hit that goal.
Still have 3 days.
Have some time. Probably not going to hit that goal, but
that would be cool.
It would be awesome. Also, I did like
you do have 3 or 4 Sonic videos that got like 50,000 and 40,000.
50,000. So I mean, it's possible.
So that is not something to bat your eye at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff was for
the
channel.
Maybe you didn't hit 100K. 100K video, that's a big video. Thinking Basement Universe has how many subscribers right now?
Like 14, 20.
Right. So you have a video that has like 30,000 times views compared to your subscriber count.
Yeah.
I think that's an accomplishment. You might have not hit the 100,000 video mark, but the fact that you have one that has 50,
Yeah.
like that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is disappointing to not hit your goal, but I also set the bar higher, you know what I mean? So it's like the fact that I didn't reach it, that's fine, and it'll just carry over.
Think about what Beanie Siegel said. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you're still amongst those stars.
Yeah. So
if anyone knows that song, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah. So
but that's what Beanie Siegel said. So you shot the moon, you missed the moon, but you're still up there. 50,000. That's big.
We're trying.
Corey.
You know what I mean? And then I also had put like over 2K subs or get to 2K. We're not there, but these are things that are just going to carry over.
Work
to
in
next
progress,
year.
my friend.
Yeah, unfortunately this year I didn't really hit a lot of my goals for whatever reason, but it's just stuff that's going to carry over, and I'll make new goals. I haven't worked on the New Year's resolution yet, but I definitely will. Some of these things, like I said, will definitely carry over. But one thing that I did do was I made it like a point to invest a lot of money this year, and I think I invested double the amount that I planned on investing. So if anything, I redacted some of my goals so that I could double down on one specific thing.
And investment is good. Obviously, it's better if your investments are successful.
Yeah.
But investing is how you set yourself up.
Yeah.
For the future.
So I mean, I have some stuff in place, so I'm happy with that, and what I did.
Right.
I don't regret my choices. So I mean, all the other goals that I failed out on this year will just carry over, and I'll try to create some new goals. But
plus, I wouldn't even say like those channel goals.
Yeah, it's not.
I wouldn't even say they're failures.
It's just a work in progress.
Right, like.
I just didn't hit what I wanted.
Let's say your goal was only a 20,000 view video, right? You might have not gotten the 50,000.
Yeah.
Or you would have gotten the 50,000 and been like, well, that was easy, and then like rested on your laurels, which you don't want to do that. So you're better off setting a difficult goal and striving for it than
one that you're going to beat.
Setting a goal that you're going to reach, because if you're going to get there, you're not going to work hard to get there. You're just going to get there.
Yeah.
Right? Versus a goal that could potentially happen, but you have to work hard towards.
Yeah.
So I know you were just saying to say, but I would not view that as a failure. I would view it, as you said, a work in progress, and that's 100% a work in progress.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's another takeaway from the year, right? You have to put that into perspective in your mind and realize that it's not a failure, and that everything is just a work in progress. It's something to strive towards, and
And truthfully speaking, you're gonna fail at times.
For sure.
You just are. Wherever you are in your life, shit'll happen where you fail. The goal is to learn from your failures. You have to learn from your failures. If you learn from your failures and you can apply whatever you learn to further yourself and get better, and then you'll know where you went wrong the next time you hit that point in life, then it's okay. If you learn from your failures are okay. It's if you keep failing the exact same way,
mistakes.
Right? That's when it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? And the whole, we were talking about our parents saying, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Another thing that came from when we were kids were practice makes perfect. That's the dumbest phrase ever.
Because there is no perfect.
There is no perfect.
Yeah.
Practice makes you better. Right?
It's true.
And what do you think practice is?
Yeah, it's just
practice is failing.
fucking up multiple
Practice
times.
is failing and preparing yourself so you know what to do when you're, in the game or in real time, whatever you want to call it, because you can practice at something that's not a sport.
Yeah, you play video games like beating a boss or playing an
Video
instrument.
games, presenting something, like
Yeah.
presenting a PowerPoint.
Yeah,
You know,
a dance
you
routine,
practice
like
that.
whatever. It could be anything.
Right.
A chorus part, like
So-
who knows?
So, practice makes you better. And I know we got on a rant here, but
We've opened up a can of worms.
right. But it's true is that, sometimes there are failures and sometimes you do fail and you need to learn from that. But sometimes just because you don't achieve your goals doesn't mean you failed.
Yeah.
It just means you might have not succeeded as much as you hoped.
Yeah, and also like, people change through like their focus throughout the year. So like, you make all these New Year's goals, the resolutions on, let's say you make
Right.
them the first week of January, right? And then as the year goes on, sometimes you lose sight of those goals because, new goals pop up in your mind that you want to focus on more than that.
Right.
So like I have other ones where it's like spend more time with family and friends and do stuff like that. And we started this podcast on like in June, I believe it was.
June or July.
We started it in June. Like I said, we're not even a year in, and this has been a fun routine for me to do every couple times a month. Between this and, playing video games with like friends online, meeting up for board game night, you kind of like fill all this time that you have with things
Right.
that you love, and you kind of shift your goals. So I'm happy to have and be able to make like, those memories with like, with you and with Tim and everybody else, on the daily,
Yeah.
switching between all different things.
One big goal that I hit this year was I got my college degree.
Yeah. That was a shocker when you
Yeah. So
when you dropped that on us.
I went back to school in January online and went to school January to November and finished my degree. And I told nobody. And I just gave my degree to my parents for Christmas. My mom cried so hard. So hard. Like, it's the hardest I've seen her cry in a really long time. I mean, probably ever, to be honest. My dad looked at it and was like, good job. Which is like, that's basically my dad crying. But I'll be honest, the week before I was about to start, I was getting anxiety. Right? And
Totally normal.
I looked at Kim and I was like, what if I don't know how to like write papers anymore? Or what if, the first assignment, like I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, and what if this is all for naught? And then I did my first assignment, I got like a 94 or 96 or something. And I was like, oh, okay, like I still remember how to do this. And it's online, so it's mostly papers and PowerPoints with like discussion posts and shit like that. But it was still like there were times where, I had to write like a 1,700 word paper, which isn't a lot, but it's with working and, what me and Kim have going on in our lives and just the every day to day. It was like, man, I need this to be done.
Yeah.
I
hear you.
The first like 6 months, I was super proactive. I was writing my papers like 3 or 4 days before they were due, and I was on top of everything. And then like the last 2 months, I was just like doing my papers at the last minute just because I was beat. I was just beat. But, I did my discussion posts early, but I was doing my papers late. And I was like, man, I know 10 months in school is not a lot for most people. For me, it's a lot. I was never a great student as far as being able to pay attention and focus.
Me neither.
Right?
So I totally get where you're coming from.
I can write papers. I can write papers on anything. I'm good at writing papers. At least I think I am. But just the constant need to focus and pay attention in school has never been my forte. I get bored. I focus on other shit. I care about other shit a lot more. But I knew I needed my degree. I really needed the degree for whenever my next chance at a promotion comes. Right? Not that not having a degree would stop me from getting promoted, but not having it would mean that other people have a leg up.
Yeah, on you. It looks better for you.
So I was like, you know what? I got to go back. I got to get it. It's 9 months. It was like January 10th to November 20th. Felt like an eternity at times, but to me that was a major goal. And there are so many people who who went to college and got a degree, like, no problem. And part of me is like, man, like, that's very impressive to me that there are people who just go to college and get a degree in 4 or 5 years. Like, it took me 16. And I had a 12, 13 year hiatus in there, right? But it took me like 16 years to get it done. And the fact
But you did it.
Yeah, I'm so happy that I got it done. I have a degree. It's sitting on my desk. I have yet to hang it. But it felt really good to see it when I got it in the mail. And it felt even better to give it to my parents.
Yeah.
For Christmas, because that was amazing. But that was like my big goal of this year, was to do that. And
mission accomplished.
Yeah, man. I'm sure
thrilled. It feels amazing.
I'm so thrilled about it. But anyway, enough about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great personal accomplishment. It's a huge goal for you. Huge step forward, right? Obviously, even to help you professionally.
Yeah,
potentially.
That's the goal. The goal is that. But let's see. What else do we want to discuss? Anything specific else you wanted to bring up as far as our outline? Corey wrote this really nice outline, and I feel like we very much have not paid attention to it. We're kind of just talking about the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what the episode is about, is just our year in review in general. I mean, I don't really have too much personal accomplishments like that. I've been just focusing on trying to build up the channel, so I've focused a lot of time on that, and, whether, it's been successful or not is, kind of irrelevant. It's always growing no matter what. Even now, I've taken kind of a hiatus, like I was telling you before off camera. I haven't posted any videos, haven't done any editing or anything in probably like the whole month of December. And it's been kind of nice to just be able to relax and do whatever else. Because we can put out videos whenever. I know people want consistent content nowadays. That's what it's all about. But I also want to be able to have fun while making the content, And also, life things just happen.
Right.
So it's been hard for me and Steve to get together. So yeah, I mean, that's as far as personal accomplishments. I was happy to get 1,000 subscribers this year. We finally hit.
It's a big goal, man.
Yeah, I mean, we hit 1 year. We hit 1,000 subscribers. So I mean, we were really happy about that. We were definitely celebrating. Yeah, we have a ton of videos. We were pumping out content, which I was happy about. So I mean, I'm not really upset with where we're at.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where my focuses have been, other than investing, like I said before. So, I mean, other than that, professionally, it's been pretty much the same. at work for me.
Yeah.
If anything, I only get the satisfaction out of, building my bonds with my patients and my coworkers. So there's not really much going on there.
Yeah, I would say coming into the end of the year and the beginning of next year, I had planned on working my side jobs a lot more. But then, as we mentioned last episode, broke the collarbone. Can't carry stuff at the moment, so that kind of negates the side jobs right now. But I had a good year as far as money earned. And professionally, I like my job. It is frustrating as fuck at times.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
being in healthcare in general is just fucking.
I think one of the real tough parts is as a supervisor, when things frustrate me and then it also frustrates the people that report to me, it's very easy to get caught in like a circle of commiseration. And I literally just thought of that. But it's very easy to just snowball off of someone where it's like, this annoys me. And then someone's like, well, that annoys me and this and that. Right?
Yeah.
So, and credit also to the people I work with is they also try to bring solutions to what is frustrating them too. But sometimes there's only so many things. Excuse me. There's only so many things that can be done. Like sometimes just shit is frustrating.
It's been hard.
Healthcare this year was very frustrating, and in December, it was even more frustrating. I don't know if you saw it at your job, but December was a wild fucking month, dude.
I feel like morale is at like an all-time low.
Morale is lower at where I work than the rest of the year. But it's always lower for the people that have to work the holidays going into the holidays.
Yeah.
But it's like also people are so much sicker, it seems.
Yeah. I feel like they just get sicker and sicker.
The rest of the year, like December, so much crazy shit happened.
Yeah. And like
whereas
RSV and the flu and COVID, I mean, we won't even get on that because we could spend a whole thing just talking about that. But yeah, morale's been definitely low.
Yeah. So, I mean, professionally, it is what it is.
Yeah. I just try my best not to bring it home, but you get the fatigue of all that throughout the day. I definitely will come home and be like, I'm just gonna sleep for a half an hour. Or
exactly.
I just need to relax for a little bit before I go about my business. But yeah, as far as also the end of the year, it's been a little bit of a bumpy ride for both of us. I mean, obviously between ailments and injuries, right? I mean, I've had my neck spasms and muscle spasms, and just have been feeling a little achy and whatnot. I haven't been working out like I was at one point throughout the year and doing my stretching and stuff like that. So that's one of my things, is to kind of refocus and get back on track with,
I also
keeping
feel
my
like
body
this time
feeling
of year,
better.
Every person you see or every other person you see, all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, so-and-so's now has a fever and you just saw them 2 days ago. And then you're like, all right. Well, now I got to sit and wait to see, am I getting sick?
How do I
not?
feel?
It's just that time
Boy,
of
I
year.
feel warm today.
All right. Anyway, that's just life. But what would you say is your game of the year, sir?
Man, that is so tough. When you brought that up earlier at the brewery, I was like, oh man.
So this is personal game of the year. This isn't you're assessing every video game that came out this calendar year.
Yeah.
And and basing it off of analysis. This is your personal game of the year.
I don't really like the game mechanics.
Yeah. You know, that PlayStation controller has a really small joystick.
Yeah, I don't like the bumpers on the Xbox controller. Man, so I think probably my favorite game that would have never been considered for Game of the Year. You know, I think it was nominated on the VGAs for Action Game of the Year. Was Remnant 2.
Okay. And you were talking about that at the brewery, you and your buddy.
I was telling you, like, me and one of my buddies have been playing the first Remnant, which I never played. I wanted to play and just never had, like, people to, join up with me. So now that it's become, I don't want to say cross-play, but Xbox allows you to PC and Xbox, like, connect together. Whereas, you can't do Xbox and PlayStation or PC and PlayStation. It's literally just Xbox that can do that.
Is that a PlayStation thing that prevents it? Is it PlayStation
I think it's
that's
just
stopping it?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the company didn't build like the game that way, but they're working on it. So like now, me and Dave have been playing that luckily together. He's just built a PC and I'm playing on Xbox, so we're able to do it. But up until literally just recently when they added Remnant 1 and 2 to Game Pass, you weren't able to do that at all.
Right.
So the fact that just conveniently happened at that time was perfect. So we've been playing the first one, but the second game was the one that I got for free through the Microsoft Rewards program. And I played that for, months and months, probably like half the year. And then I went back, now and I'm playing Remnant 1. So that's probably my game of the year just because I feel like it has a lot of replayability considering every time you play the game, everything is randomly generated and procedurally generated. So like no two like experiences or even 3 or 4 are going to be the same.
So is that a roguelike or roguelite game, or is that just its own game? To
be honest, I don't really know if it's considered that. Like, I guess in a way you could consider it that. Like the thing that changes is like the level layouts and like where the enemies spawn, but like their attacks don't change or anything like that. So I'm not really entirely sure what you would consider it, but it is like a Dark Souls game. Where, it is very hard. Every time you die, you start all over again pretty much from, like, the beginning of the level. So, like, if you make it 3/4 of the way without hitting that save point, you go back to the beginning. And all the enemies are back. You know what I mean? And the same thing with, like, the boss fight. You know what I mean? It's like, it could be brutal. Absolutely brutal. You could play a boss fight 100 times, depending on what difficulty you're playing on, before you win.
That sounds very frustrating.
It is frustrating, but when you do win finally, though, you're like, all right, like it is really satisfying because you know that you came up with the right strategy to beat it. So it is, that's my game of the year.
Talk about a perfect segue.
Yeah.
My game of the year is God of War, Ragnarok. And also because they had the Valhalla DLC that came out 2-3 weeks ago.
For free, right?
For free. And that is a roguelite. It's roguelike or roguelite. I don't know the fucking difference, if there is. But, oh, man, the game was so good. It was so good. They told multiple stories within the same game. They did a good job of your Kratos and Atreus, and the last God of War, I feel like was when they started to develop Atreus as his own. Still not great.
Still
right?
Not great.
They started to develop Atreus as his own, and this one, you play as him for a decent period of time. You get his story told. You still continue telling Kratos' story. And, based on the end, we're going to get multiple games moving forward.
Yeah.
And then they put out this DLC which continues to tell Kratos' story while it's literally just you're fighting, right? You're fighting. You're going through multiple levels.
That's like the best.
And I like what I really like about that DLC is that, as you fight, you get enemies, or you need to use different weapons and different techniques. And granted, there are levels where the enemies you fight, like the first encounter or two, they're so weak.
Yeah.
You can fight them with whatever you have, and it doesn't matter. But then as they get stronger,
you gotta strategize.
It makes things a lot easier if you use the appropriate weapon to fight them. And then you hit tier, and I'm fighting tier for the 4th time. He's killed me twice now. And I'm still adjusting to that. And I've already beat tier 3 times. And what's cool is when you fight tier, he's literally just training you to move forward. Like, when you beat him, you don't kill him. He yields, and he said, all right, you've learned enough. And then Kratos goes, all right, let's see if it's time to move forward. And then it's not. They send you back to the beginning.
They're like, now you got to learn more, dude.
Right. So now I'm at the point where clearly I haven't learned enough since he killed me twice at this point. And who knows, when I eventually figure out how to kill him or just figure out how to beat him, what the appropriate moves are, I might have to fight him again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll see, right?
So,
that's kind of the fun of the game, though, too, right?
Yeah. I mean, God of War, it's like cinema.
Yeah, that's one of the great things, right? You're getting a great narrative story, right? On top of fantastic graphics, top tier. Looks like you're watching.
The characters are so good, and they've carried
a lot of depth.
Carried multiple characters through multiple games, right? So it's not like the beginning of Ragnarok is the end of the last game.
Yeah, and you're not missing a beat, right?
No, you don't. You go right into how the last one ended.
I love that, and I haven't played them since, the original trilogy.
Right.
I played probably only the first 2, and actually I did play a little bit of the new first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the gameplay is fun. Like I said, if they focus on the story really well, and a lot of it is, fun gameplay.
What I like about Valhalla is you're kind of fighting through Kratos' memories. So you fight. There are times where you fight old characters,
old baddies,
yeah.
Medusa.
I just fought Thor's son. Thor's son, who has been dead for a while. Kratos killed him a while ago. Got to fight him again just because.
Nice.
So to me, it's God of War. Those are my kind of games. I like to play those games where I can just play the campaign. The main quest of the campaign. And then after I beat the campaign, I go back and I try to play all the side quests. But that's definitely been my game of the year.
It's a solid choice. I mean, there's probably millions of people out there.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who are like, that game's trash, or that game was good, but this game's better. I don't game a lot. I mean, I play video games a lot, but I don't play new games too much anymore.
Yeah.
There are 3 or 4 games that I look
forward to, yeah.
Right? Dying Light. I'll play Gears whenever it comes out.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'll play God of War whenever it comes out. And I didn't pick up the new Horizon when it first came out, but I'm currently playing Horizon Forbidden West. So, but I'm also on old-gen consoles, too. So my selection is
a little limited.
Diminishing.
Yeah. Especially the further we push along.
Right.
Oh,
so
man.
We did games. Now, we had talked about doing album of the year, but the more I think about it, the more I realize I probably did not buy many full CDs. I'm not sure that I did buy like a full album this year. Do you have a song of the year? If you don't have an album of the year?
I think, now that something just came to my mind specifically, in the past year, and I'm like, I was thinking like, oh, maybe it'll be the Currents album because I really did enjoy the Currents album. But then I realized that this year has been the year of Sleep Token.
Yeah.
So I think it probably has to be the Sleep Token album.
Okay.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about Sleep Token. And they made me money.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I got a ticket to their Webster Hall show here in the city, and none of my other friends did. It had sold out, and I remember just selling the ticket. So and when I sold the ticket, it was wild. Like the resale tickets were listed for like $350, $400. And I was like, man, like I don't want to do that. Like that's a lot of money to go to a show at Webster Hall.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. So I listed my ticket for $150 and that sold in like 4 minutes. Seriously. Like I listed it, I got up, did something, sat back down, refreshed on the computer, bam, sold.
Yeah. So I think it probably has to be Sleep Token for me. I mean, there's been a lot of great music that came out this year, and honestly, the year flew by. I was having a discussion with my neighbor outside earlier about like how time just feels differently the older we're getting.
Oh yeah.
And it feels like I can barely remember what came out this year as far as like music goes.
That's the thing.
Because
I have no clue what came out this year.
Yeah, like immediately, me and you were both like, Dance Gavin Dance, and then we were like, wait,
right. that was last year.
Yeah, Jackpot Juicer was last year, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense because that was like some of the first videos we did for the channel here. So yeah, I mean, probably, the only other thing that really jumps out at me would be Currents.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I loved their new album, and we did some of the singles as reacts, which have just been fantastic. Maybe even for you, I don't know how you felt about Polaris, but
I mean, were you looking at my phone?
No, I just assumed like
that's what I had up. Because I know to me, like that's my album of the year.
Yeah, because I know like
I love that band.
They're very similar. I feel like those bands like they probably tour together.
I was about to say I'm pretty sure Currents was on the Polaris tour.
Yeah. Yeah, they were when you saw them, definitely.
Yeah.
And I was a little jealous because I was just like, oh, like I would have loved to have seen Currents.
Yeah, Polaris, the Fatalism tour with Currents, Varials, and Pale Dusk.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my album of the year. Is Polaris.
Yeah.
Great music. They did lose their lead guitarist.
Yeah,
he
unfortunately.
did pass away. After I believe the whole album was done, recorded, and they had filmed 3 or 4 music videos, and then he passed away. But man, their show was good. We saw them at Irving Plaza. It's been a while since I've been to Irving. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely been a really long time for me too.
My only issue with Irving is, excuse me,
the setup.
Not a lot of places to sit, and I'm old. Man, we had to stand for 5 hours, and my legs were tired.
I feel you, dude. Especially after working like and then going straight to a concert. It's like the train is the only saving grace, and nobody really loves if you're from New York, sitting on the train and riding because it's just for us.
Train's fucking terrible.
It's like an hour, right?
Yeah.
So it's just frustrating.
But it's definitely the Polaris album. I remember they dropped their first single, and I was like, we'll see. I'm not sure. And then the second single came out, and I was like, I still don't know. And then when they dropped the album, hearing the singles within the flow of the album made them better.
It does,
Yeah, it
we've
made
talked
them a
about
lot
that
better.
a lot over the years.
Yeah.
How that really does
And
affect it.
they, they got better live. And shout out to Varials. I'm pretty sure that's not good.
I don't know what just happened. I think it's still all recording, but
it might be.
The picture just went out, which is weird. I don't know why. That's like never happened before.
Is it on the right input?
Yeah, one. I mean, it's definitely in one. That's weird. That is weird. Yeah, I mean, everything's on. Well, anyways, let's just keep talking like everything's totally normal. Totally fine.
Yeah. Shout out to Varials. They were very good. And Eric said that wasn't even their the guy that was doing their vocals was someone who had originally joined the band as a guitarist and then became the vocalist after their vocalist left / got kicked out or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know which one. I didn't really read how their vocalist parted ways with them. But, yeah, my album of the year is Polaris.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Was there any other?
So, me and Kim put on the Kevin Hart and Kenan Thompson year in review on Peacock.
Oh yeah, I saw that
right?
was coming out. I didn't watch it though.
We didn't watch like all of it, and we mainly put it on for it being in the background. But Chinese spy balloons was this year.
Oh, the Chinese spy balloons! Oh my God.
Did we ever confirm that they were actually Chinese spy balloons?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I like to live in my own bubble.
I don't know. So that was this year.
We also had we did the episode right after we had the smog from the fires
when
in
Canada tried to kill us. Yeah.
Oh man, there's just been so much shit that's gone on. Obviously, the war in the Ukraine, not great for the stock market and everything in general.
And for people in Ukraine and Russia.
Well, yeah, for sure. Man, there's just, I don't know, dude. There's just been so much stuff happening.
What do you think about New York sports?
So, for some reason, the Rangers have not collapsed yet, so...
I'm waiting for the regression to the mean.
Yeah.
It's got to come.
It's we talked about this, a little bit at the brewery, but that defense mechanism is strong within us New York realistic Ranger fans. Yeah.
I mean, they're damn good. They've been playing damn good at least. It's like 35 games into the season or whatever it is.
They're not even in double-digit L's yet.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for like the fall off. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I mean that's looking good. The Knicks are all right.
Knicks are
all right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably not as good as they were last year.
No, I think they were better last year. It seems defensively they have issues.
Yeah,
which is a concern because Tom Thibodeau is a defensive guy.
Yeah.
So defensively they have issues, but you know what? Considering where they've been the last 30 years. You gotta
give it to them. They're winning. They're winning. They got a winning record.
So.
Football.
Jets, Giants are trash.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Next.
Buffalo's not even that good, even though they're. We don't like Buffalo.
Dude, we don't consider them.
We don't like their sports teams.
Yeah.
They are a part of the state.
Yeah.
But we don't like their sports teams.
They're the stepchild.
They're not going to win anyway. It don't matter. Who else is there? Baseball. They
like,
suck.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all. Yeah.
New York Liberty lost the championship.
Yeah.
For WNBA.
They only won one, right? One game, I think.
I think it's only a best of 3 series, right? Or is it best of 5?
I think it was 5.
5. Well, they didn't win.
Yeah.
So New York sports
Unfortunate, but
in the garbage.
But they made it to the finals. So.
Oh yeah, Nets suck too. We didn't talk about them.
But I mean, why would we?
And the Islanders suck. So
yeah, the Islanders are doing better than I think people probably thought. Considering, because they're in the running still.
I mean, last year they were terrible.
They have like no offense, no nothing. So I mean,
defensive grinders, man.
The fact that they're in it, is
Yeah, but I mean that's our brief touch up on sports.
On the New York sports. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have anything else on the year.
Yeah. I mean, moving forward, we're going to keep doing what we've been doing, covering hockey, covering sports in general, especially the New York sports teams, considering that's where we are from.
Right.
Covering some of the random dramas throughout sports, talking about wrestling, because that's another big thing for us. Doing our beer of the week.
Hopefully better ones.
Probably doing some more movie reviews and stuff like that. We did really enjoy doing those, very specific episodes.
I know we had talked about The Exorcist, and then I never saw it.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it yet, but it is on Peacock. I kept joking with Omar that I was going to put it on. He's just like, you are? Like, he does not want to see that at all. But
yeah.
I mean, we look forward to, putting out more content for you guys and continuing doing the podcast. We're always looking forward to growing the community and hearing from you. So please let us know what you think in that comment section. If you have any topics or, comments to help us improve the podcast or beers you want us to try
give
or
us
anything.
Feedback. Any feedback is welcome. Any beers we should try, like Corey was saying, is welcome. Please let us know.
Yeah. So that's pretty much our 2023 year in review. So thank you all so much for tuning in, for watching, listening, however you're, getting this. And we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you next week. Or in 2 weeks.
We'll see you next year.
I was trying to avoid saying that.
Well, I done did it.
Goodbye.
Bye, y'all. All right, let's go play hockey.
Goodbye.